Hey, all right, everybody. How's it going? Now then, I think about 7 to 9 days ago, I did a video about the EV new sales in January 2024, and the sales of new EVs were up in January 2024. Now, a lot of people didn't like that video because I had a lot of thumbs down. It was a record on my channel. It's the worst hated video on my channel. Woohoo! So it must have ruffled a few feathers. People who hate electric EVs were going on there and giving it a thumbs down. So it ruffled a few feathers. It did. They must have been pretty angry about it that the sales were up in January 2024. Now, the one thing I missed that I should have looked at is the sale of second-hand EVs for last year, because that information was there on the SMMT data website. So I got the data here now, and it says the battery electric vehicle car sales are almost doubled in 2023 compared to 2022. And I think the number it was up by 90.9% from the year before, and 118,973 BEVs were sold, battery electric vehicles were sold, the second-hand market in 2024. Now, there's some controversy. I can't even say the word, controversy, okay? Now, I was looking at an article or somewhere on somebody's video somewhere a couple of days ago, and they said SMMT, they've fudged the numbers, is all wrong, because the sales of EVs back in 2022 was more, so it's not 90.9%. And they were going, it's a new conspiracy, folks. It is a new conspiracy. So he was saying it was something like 60-something%, and they've got the figures wrong. Now, this is going to cause a conspiracy, right? So, for all you conspiracy fans out there, all you the people who go to that channel for conspiracies, you know the one I'm talking about. Here's a new conspiracy for you, okay? SMMT, I should say. Let me just check this article by here. SMMT, right? Okay. Cookies. There's cookies on the tablet again. Ooh. You've got to get rid of the cookies first. Now, I should have just screenshotted it. Then there wouldn't have been any cookies. I'm not that well prepared. Right, so 2022 figures for second-hand sales, okay? There was a technical error blamed as SMMT lowers figures for 2022. And that's 2022 used electric and plug-in hybrid sales. So what they've done, they overestimated the sales for 2022, and the figure for used cars, sorry, I got to say electric, I got to stipulate electric cars. The figure for used electric cars was 62,338, not 71,071, says SMMT, okay? The figures for plug-ins sales, they went down a teeny weeny bit, but figures for second-hand petrol, diesel and hybrids, all them figures went up. And I said the industry body blames a one-off technical error, right? So after they fixed the errors, my previous numbers for 90.9% is correct after the errors were fixed, okay? Now, so, like, for all you conspiracy theory people out there now, right, you can blame them. You can say, ooh, they've lowered the figures on purpose just to make the electric second-hand sales look better. I know, the conspiracy theory brains are going already. They can see the cogs are turning. It's a conspiracy. What's happened is the government, they phoned up, they said, is that the SMMT? Yes, this is the SMT. I don't know. I got an actual phone by here. I'll use it. Hello, is this the SMMT? And they'll say yes, because obviously when I answer, say yes. And they'll say, right, this is the government, okay? We want you to lower the figures and mess with the figures and fudge the figures to make it look like more electric cars are being sold. Go and sort it out. So they'll toddle off and change all the figures. That's the conspiracy. That will be the conspiracy, because we're all controlled by the government, remember? Right? So the sales are up for second-hand EVs in 2023. Remember now, you've got to remember this, all the anti-EV people, and when I say anti-EV people, I don't mean the people who go, I don't want an electric car, I want to stick with my petrol car. I don't mean them people. I mean the people who go on other people's YouTube videos, or they go on forums, they go on Facebook, and they're always typing in, it's the devil's work, electric cars, the devil's work, blah, 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 right? Okay? You know the type, you know the people, the ones, they dig out all the old stuff. They're the true anti-EV people, okay? So people who just go, I just don't, about EVs, they just, maybe they haven't driven an EV, maybe they're not interested, but the real anti-EV people are there. They're always there trying to attack EVs, okay? They spend the time attacking EVs. A bit like me, I'm spending my time singing their praises. Well, I'm not singing their praises, I'm trying to have a biased sort of mind about it all, because it being crazy over a car and getting angry about it is just silly. It's silly. I'm telling you now, it's silly. Anyway, I've gone on a tangent. I forgot what I was talking about. Right, so they'll be blaming the government. Have told them to change the data to make it look like EV sales are up, okay? That's what's going to happen. I can guarantee it. Okay? But like I said, anti-EV people, they're saying nobody's buying electric cars, but people are obviously buying electric cars. And also, just to chuck this in the mix as well, France did a thing to make EVs affordable for people on low income, and they did this thing where they could lease an electric car for €100 a month. €100 a month. I think it was that. I'm not quite sure. I'll put it up on the screen just in case I'm saying it wrong. But the scheme went crackers, and loads of people, so many people have put in for this scheme that France have had to stop it. So there we go. If it's cheap enough, people will buy them. Okay, so that's proof. The proof is in the pudding, isn't it? So there's the numbers for that. They're up, but there's another story now. Another story. I was just watching the what's it called? The Top Gear spin-off on YouTube. Drive Tribe, I think it is. Drive Tribe. And the geezer, I can't remember the geezer's name now. The geezer who does Drive Tribe, I can't remember his name. I'll put his name there if I remember to put it there. And he was testing, or just reviewing, the original Tesla Roadster. Roadster? Roadster. I told you, EVs catch on fire as a roaster. The anti-EV people would like that one, wouldn't they? No, it's a joke, okay? The Tesla Roadster, the original one, Tesla Roadster, and he was trying a 2004 model. So it's quite old, isn't it? That's 16, 18, what's that? It's 20 years old, is it? 20? Blimey hell, time flies, doesn't it? Can't be 20 years old. It wasn't that long ago, was it? It must have been a 2014. It's like getting it all wrong now. It must have been a 2014. Was it? I can't remember. What the hell was it? I'll put it up by here. Anyway, let's just say it was one of the original Roadsters, okay? See how confused I'm getting? I must be getting old. So he was driving around in that, and he was going on about Clarkson. Was Clarkson right about the original Roadster? Blah blah blah. But anyway, he drove her around. He went to a charging point. Now I don't know if it's real or not, but the charging point wasn't working, so he had to go to another one. So I don't know. But he was driving around. He said it was, he was enjoying it. He liked the car, and what he said was, and my eyes nearly popped out of my head. They did, I'm telling you. They nearly popped out of my head. The Roadster is now selling in the UK for about £150,000. £1,000? Are they having a laugh? Are they having a laugh? I'm telling you. Now, I'll show you now. I'll put it up on the screen. I went and looked on eBay, and it should be on the screen now. £150,000 for a used Tesla up on the screen. I don't know where they got their information from. They probably looked at other sales as well, because he did say that a while back they were going as cheap as £30,000. Then they started creeping up, and now they're up to £150,000. Now, why am I talking about a second-hand Tesla Roadster? Well, anti-EV people have also said this. No electric car will become a classic, and it won't be worth more. They'll always be worth less. That's what a lot of anti-EV people have said. They've said it. They say all these things, and I don't know where they get the information from, and it always turns out to be a load of old ghoulies. So there we go. A second-hand Roadster is going to cost you £150,000, which is a lot of money. But like I said, the guy who was driving it, he did enjoy it. He said it was fun to drive. £150,000 worth, not for me. I be honest, even if I had loads of money, I'd find it hard to part with. You know that some of these classic cars are worth like millions of pounds, and I'm like, nah. Nah. But I'd like a classic car, but a reasonably priced one. Not one of these couple of £1 million ones. You know, it's like RS Cosworths and stuff. They're selling for silly money now, so I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. That was my tale for today, that the sales of used electric cars are up. The sale of... Yes, did I say it right then? Yeah. The sale of used electric cars are up. The sale of new... I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm going to start again. I'm going to say it again, right? I'm getting very confused at my old age, I'm telling you. Right. The sale of used electric cars are up. The sale of new electric cars are up. And the sale of classic electric cars, well, the Roadster, is up. So everything's up, nothing's down. Anyway, if you like this video, go on, give it a like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!